Do you have a bold vision for your business, and have you set goals in place to achieve it? You know, this year's been extraordinarily difficult, hasn't it? And a lot of businesses have pivoted towards alternative sources of revenue. And that's all good, extremely understandable. You've got to have cash to survive. But what does it mean to pivot? It means to turn on the spot so that you're facing in a different direction. Is that the direction you want your business now to travel in, or do you need to steer it back to the original one? Because the longer you travel this way, the further away you're going to get from this direction. And is it time to do some longer range planning, to revisit your competitive strategy? Because probably a lot of the assumptions on which your strategy was based have changed now. Then she starts the next song, and this time she's singing in Brazilian Portuguese. Well, by the time she reaches the end of the fourth line, the whole place erupts. The roof just about lifts off. The people are applauding wildly because she's singing in their language and they are loving it. At that point, I sat up on the couch and I said, I want what she's having. Yes, I wanted to sing their music in their country, in their language. I wanted my own concert in Rio. And then I took a reality check. I was accruing stage time at the rate of 3 minutes per month. And now I had this sudden vision of myself performing on stage in Rio de Janeiro. You're dreaming. He leaned across the table to me and he said, I must inform you of the risks of this operation. There are 3 main ones, the 3 big ones: heart attack, stroke, and death. Well, I brought out my diary and I said, well, what day shall we do it? Because what choice do you have? But I now had this extra ingredient, which was commitment. And this goal was no longer optional. I was going to make it happen. So I started thinking, well, what would you need? What would be the ingredients of this challenge? I decided to start with musicians. And being the sensible and conservative person that I am, I went straight to Facebook. Each one she passes goes, ah. I'm sure you've heard that song at some stage in your life, if only in an elevator. And I waited for his response. The next day the reply came and he said, no. And I suggest you look him up on YouTube. Now, isn't this how social media works? On the 6 degrees of separation, someone who knows someone who knows someone. I thought, well, what if I turned the idea on its head? I could invite my Brazilian Facebook friend to come to Australia to rehearse and perform with me. At least then we'd find out if it's going to work. Okay, so I ran towards him with my sign. We went to the car park, we got to my car, and he tried to climb into the driver's seat. It was uncanny, the coincidences that occurred, because I was committed and attuned to the opportunities. The place that eventually booked us was called Beco das Garrafas, Bottles Alley. And in the 1960s, this was the top place for bossa nova artists to perform. And I had never dared imagine that that's the place that would book us. And on the day before the show, we rehearsed on the rooftop of the hotel, overlooking the sea. You see the cable cars that sway above the Bay of Guanabara. Tiny sailboats down below dance the samba as they go. Shining Rio, and there you lie, city of sand and sea and sky, mountains of green rising so high. 4 minutes more we'll be there at the airport of Galeão, Rio de Janeiro. There were tears streaming down my face and I was sobbing, but the musicians played on. All that remains of us is what we've created. And he said, and that's why I write music. What are you creating in your business? Are you writing your own music? You know, without my heart surgery, if I hadn't nearly died, I would never even have set my goal. How often do we wait for a crisis to propel us? But equally, a crisis can be a catalyst for making change. And next time you catch a glimpse of what your business could become, even if it seems a bit audacious, don't dismiss it, because a glimmer can become a goal. And as I discovered, the secret sauce is commitment, because without commitment, a goal is just a dream. Thank you.
Thank you.